r/IDontWorkHereLady, episode 28. What an adorable situation. Yesterday I was taking my 11-month, recently walking, my baby for a random exploration in one of our big stores. The uniform is a red polo, and I was wearing a red hoodie. We were just wandering aimlessly when my baby made a beeline for a man in the hair dye aisle. The man smiled and said hi to my baby, which caused my baby to do a U-turn and run away, very shy. I picked up my baby and was about to leave when the man called out to me for help. I thought, oh no, he just saw red and thinks I work here. It was much more adorable than that. He asked how old my kid was, which was a segue to, I have a 2-week-old and my wife sent me here to find hair dye. She can't leave the house and I don't know what I'm doing. Please help. He was holding an uncommon color of dye, gray, so I was immediately suspicious that he hadn't got the right one as the fun colors don't tend to be permanent. I asked him a bunch of questions to determine what his wife wanted, only to find that she wanted permanent gray, which generally only hair salons do permanently. He told me he hadn't even read the non-permanent label on the box. He ended up going for what he had originally as it was the closest thing, but now able to go home and proudly tell his wife about why he chose this one and sound all knowledgeable. I still have warm fuzzies today. Edit, change low, little one, to baby. Wrong music store Karen. This kinda fits as my coworkers and I don't work at company B, we work at company A. Karen turned out to be really confused. So the backstory. I'm a retired band director and have gone back to work part-time at company A. Company A is a regional music company that rents and sells band and orchestra instruments. The other company is a nationwide music company that also rents and sells band and orchestra instruments. The cast is myself or me, Karen the confused or KC, M is for manager, and educational representative or R for short, repair guy is RG, although he doesn't say much, just listens in. Karen comes in yesterday afternoon with a folder that holds one of our rental contracts. She makes a beeline for my counter. Me, yes ma'am, how can I help you? KC, angry and impatient in heavily accented English, yesterday you store charged me for rental $60. Not supposed to be until 15th. And only $45. Me, I'm sorry, may I see the contract? She whip it out of the folder at me, glares, and mentions her child goes to a charter school. This is important, I promise. I look at the contract. The date for us to auto-deduct out of her account is indeed the 15th coming up this month, but the date she was saying was the 2nd. And there's no amount of $60 or $45 anywhere on the contract. Her amount to be paid is actually less. Me, ma'am, I'm not seeing anywhere how we would take $60 out. Let me look at the computer. I input her information. The computer shows she hasn't even paid her first payment yet as it is not due for almost another 2 weeks. I tell her that. KC practically shrieks at that. I tell you I paid $60. The bank tell me. I show you. She starts tapping angrily on her phone, nails clicking. At this point I call in reinforcement. My manager and the ed rep come over. Repair guy is just a few feet behind me behind a half wall and computer monitor listening. Look at particular computer screen. I type it in and it shows the customer's history. Me, ma'am, we don't have any record of you making a $60 payment. KC, interrupting, I show you. Here. I have it in Spanish. She presses more buttons. A man's voice starts reading off charges in Spanish. The ed rep who speaks Spanish is intently listening. The voice is saying various companies in English then the amounts in Spanish. Karen is getting flustered by all of us listening to her personal business. All of a sudden we hear, company B $60. And we all exclaim, who? KC is still confused. Me, ma'am, that was company B that charged you. We're company A. KC, still confused. Company B. I declined them. My child go to public school name then he switched to charter school name. Ed rep now speaks to her in Spanish. it dawns on Casey that she went to the wrong store. She had done a contract earlier with Company B, but it somehow hadn't been cancelled when her child switched schools, and she had then come to us. You need to go to Company B and have them take care of it. Casey, very sheepish, I'm so sorry. I thought you charged me $60 instead of $45 and too soon. Me, that's okay. And we're actually only charging you less than $45, and that won't come out until the 15th. Casey smiled weakly and rushed out. RG laughed and said she was getting embarrassed by all those store names and purchases. We all had a laugh about how she came in ready to do battle. Still, it's nice to have a Karen apologize. Wrong music store, Karen. Looks like I work at Walmart now. After watching a whole crapload of Reddit videos on YouTube, I thought it was about time I start entering some of my own stories. This one isn't a bad one, but a funny one that happened to me not that long ago. It happened in the beginning of August back in 2017. It was the first week back to school and needed to start shopping for the usual supplies. I had my mother drive me, didn't drive yet, to a Walmart in an area where she could just drop me off and take care of some errands she had to. I had just gotten out of school. That's a uniformed school. The thing about my school's uniform, it looked practically identical to the Walmart uniform. Dark blue polo shirts and khaki pants that fit the bill. They do have two other colors, light blue and yellow, but I liked the dark blue better. As for the pants, we could either wear khaki or black colored pants. On that day, however, I had to wear the khaki cause my black pants were in the wash. Aside from the colors, the only way to see that I wasn't an employee there was, if you looked at my shoes and my school logo, a yellow shield with an R on the left side of my chest. I walked around the school supply area and picked up a few items, notebooks, benders, pencil bag holder, etc. All being held in front of me from my stomach to chest, just barely covering my school logo. I went into another aisle to get my final items, sharpener or pens, can't remember, when I read a lady call to me. Lady, excuse me, Ms. Me, \asterisk LOOKS over to HER \asterisk lady, could you show me where the pencil boxes are? My daughter wants one that locks with a key. Me, remembering that I passed through that aisle a few minutes ago, sure, I'd be happy to show you as I lead her down. I must have looked lost, because I would double check aisles to be sure I found the right one. I'd almost get lost like that in stores like that as a kid. Once I found one I was confident in, I pointed it to the lady. Me, they should be here, but I can't be too sure about that \asterisk. I smiled sheepishly. Lady, \asterisk smiled with a bit of concern. Alright, thank you very much. Me, \asterisk returned back to my searching. I felt proud of myself for being able to help her out, even if I wasn't completely sure myself. Once I got my things, I made a double check in case I forgot anything else before leaving. As I walked the aisle again, I saw the same lady talking to an actual employee wearing the Walmart vest, an older woman. Ow. She noticed me and pointed me out. I was confessed and just watched, giving a small wave. Both in shock and fearing that I somehow did something wrong when helping her out. The old woman looked at me and started to laugh a bit, looking back to the lady. I did hear everything she said, but I heard her say, "Oh no, she isn't one of worker." The woman looked to her in shock and looked back to me. I saw her eyes move to a spot on my shirt. I looked and it just so happened to show my school's logo. The woman laughed a bit herself and said sorry before returning to her shopping. It soon clicked in my head that she thought I was an employee and went to another to tell them about how I looked lost. Probably asking if I had gotten enough training before being put to work on the floor. I soon found myself chuckling and went on my way to check out of stuff. Before I left to self-checkout, the owl came up to and grabbed my shoulder. "Oh, you're hired ***. She smiled. Still CHUCKING ***me. ***CHUCKLING as WELL ***. Oh sweet. I'll start tomorrow." And with that, I bought my supplies and had a funny story to share with my mom when she came to get me. She had a good laugh herself when I told her and made a comment about how, if only it was that easy to get work. I don't work here. OWTH. Wholesome. Warning: mobile, bad grammar, whatever else may irk you. Let's be honest, we all know I tend to mouth off to people in public, but I can be nice. And yes, I often get the truth police called on me. So today I'm going to share an 8-hour-old experience. Preface: my cousin is a department head at the local national chain union-friendly grocery store. You may know it by the large queso after work. Yes, my workday ends at 11:45 to 12 every day. I stop by and pester him. We usually just chit-chat as he does his thing. Sometimes I walk in the back where customers don't get to access normally. After hanging out with him and doing a bit of my macro shopping, I walk on towards the register. That's when I feel a gentle tugging on my shoulder. Normally, I go from my resting bitch-faced look to the sudden SHTF face when people touch me. Yeah, I'm not much for unexpected contact. I turn around half expecting somebody who may end up on the end of one of my rants. However, I notice a man maybe in his mid-30s looking like life may have handed him a similar hand that I had been dealt. He looked solemn initially. Within a couple of minutes I figured out he had a level of social anxiety that must have made speaking to me hard enough, let alone touching my shoulder. C. Man me, that lovable asshole, employee C. X. Excuse me sir, lowercase because he's mumbling quietly, could you speak up a bit? I can't hear you. I'm hard of hearing. I wasn't trying to be rude, but my vocal tones are a bit harsh. C. Sorry. I need help. Please. Are you okay? C. No. Well, what's wrong? C. I was walking in the dairy section and I had my phone. Then I didn't. I don't know what to do. He was quiet but spoke very quickly. We are near the soda aisle, which is only a few steps away from the dairy. It's at this point I start connecting dots. He has a bit more than social issues. I don't know how to put it without sounding insensitive. Okay. Let's go back and see if we can find it. C. Thank you. We walk back to the milk case, since I noticed he was holding a small carton, and since it's a start. As we are looking, an employee walks up to us. Can I help you? Yeah. This man lost his phone back here. Can you go find Steve? He was just over here. He just went on lunch. Shit, and he didn't invite me, but I digress. Do you know the phone number? C. Yes, it's ###. Here, let me dial that. If that's okay with you. C. Please, thank you. Sure enough, we heard the phone. He had sat it down on a carton of eggs a few feet behind us. He had a Doctor Who ringtone. The TARDIS sound effect. His eyes lit up like a kid at Christmas. The man thanked us both. He even mumbled he was going to brag on the 2 employees who saved his day. He was so happy and relieved that I didn't want to ruin his excitement by correcting him. I make a mistake, jerk makes it worse. HireReddit long time reader. First time poster. I literally just made my account. This story is a little different, as I was the one who mistook someone for an employee. I was at a well-known UK clothing store where most of the clothes are for slimmer guys. Not somewhere I normally shop, but I had a gift card. So I need to lose a bit of weight, working on it, and wonder if a couple of tops I like, or in other sizes. Now most of the staff here are young college types and wear jean and t-shirts. So I don't know the uniform well except for that, so I'm lost. I see 2 guys. Let's call the honest guy HG and Joker guy JG. Me is me. Me, 2HG, excuse me, do you work here? HG, no sorry JG, I do mate me. Great, I'm sorry to bother you. I hold the shirts and ask about sizes. JG looks alarmed. In retrospect he was clearly mocking me and thought it would be obvious. JG, I don't really mate. I didn't make a big thing of it. Seriously, why did he say that? As if these things weren't awkward enough.